So we should be live, or let's see, make sure we're live here. All right, there we go. Get my computer synced up to the live stream here.
All right.
And mute my computer. Okay, sweet. I'll see how far behind my computer is. Looks like not too terribly far behind. So I'll go ahead and get into it. I'm just going to go ahead and start. I'll start with this Civivi because it should be fairly easy. This is a Civivi Mini Praxis, and it just has a bent pocket clip. Two of these just have bent pocket clips, and then the Benchmade here needs sharpened. So we're going to set him off to the side. These two need fixed pocket clips. So I will go ahead and get into that. These should both take normal T6. And then for actually fixing the pocket clips, I just like to use a pair of needle nose pliers, but then have sort of a rubbery sort of substance just to keep the pliers from scratching the clip. So go ahead and start getting this clip off. Alright, so this one should be fairly straightforward. Really shouldn't need much. There we go. Okay, I might be able to do this by hand. Yeah, that might have done it right there. I'm going to give it a little bit of a pinch though, just to get the clip a little bit tighter. Hello, Kane Miranda. Thank you for being here. So for those who just joined, I'm just fixing a few knives here. This Civivi and this Kershaw both have bent pocket clips, and then the Benchmade over here off screen needs sharpened. So I think that should be appropriate tightness for this clip. But I'm actually gonna tighten it down just a little bit more because I would prefer for the for it to be too tight rather than too loose, just because loose pocket clips are a pain. It shouldn't be too tight though, regardless of what I do to it. There we go. That should be good. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Oh wow, these screws are actually different lengths. I'm going to assume that, yeah, the longer one is going to go on the back because that's where that spacer is. Yeah, that'll work. See how tight this clip is. It's probably not extremely tight. It's not bent anymore, obviously, but it's still probably not as tight as I would like it. That's not bad. I'm going to test it in my pocket real fast here. Yeah, it's not bad, but it could be tighter, so I'm going to go ahead and try to tighten that up a little bit. My friend who gave these to me to fix, he's a landscaper, and I'm a landscaper as well, and landscapers move around a lot, and we don't always have time to make sure our knife is still in our pocket. So tighter clips are definitely better for people who are constantly moving around, moving large, bulky objects that could easily pop knives right out of pockets. I've had that happen before where I'll be moving something and I can't really pay attention to where my knife is at, and the thing that I'm moving will actually pull my knife out of my pocket. So, because of that, because I know that he does a lot of the same stuff I do, I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down just a little bit more. That should be good. Maybe a little more. The way I can tell that it's not going to be tight enough is because the portion of the clip that mounts to the scale here, if it's really good and tight, then it should actually be sticking up just a little bit before you screw it down, and then that way it's applying a lot of pressure. So I'm going to tighten it down just a little more. And for those of you who are watching, I'll probably be wrapping up this stream right around 2 o'clock, maybe a couple minutes earlier, depending on how long it takes me to get these knives fixed. There we go. That should be good. Now looks like, yeah, that should get nice and tight. So let's go ahead and tighten this down again. This Kershaw over here is going to be a little more interesting because it uses a clip design that I do not like. I had to fix a very similar Kershaw, Kershaw heel attack the other day, and it has the same style of clip, and they are a pain. So we'll see how this one goes. I might not be able to get this one fixed, at least not on a live stream. That might require some more advanced sort of stuff that I don't want to try to mess with on a live stream. So. But this one should be fine now. I mean, they make these things so well. These clips are so easy to work with. One thing I was surprised about, I'm actually going to test this real fast. Yeah, that's better. That will work just fine, especially since this is a smoother G10. It's not really going to grip super aggressively. But I'm going to make sure that I'm caught up to the chat here. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. One thing I've been surprised about with the Mini Praxis is that you can reverse flick it. I mean, it doesn't have a fuller or anything, but the coating on the blade and I guess the grind itself provides enough friction to where you can easily and very effectively reverse flick the Mini Praxis. So yeah, I do like this knife. This is a cool knife. I actually got this knife for my friend, and yeah, I decided that he needed to become acquainted with the wonders of these small Chinese manufacturers. So, yeah, I do like Civivis. I actually don't own any Civivis myself. My brother has a Civivi, and I got my friend a Civivi, but I don't actually own any. But I know that Civivis are very good knives, so that's why I was comfortable getting one for him. So this one is good. We're going to go and set him off to the side and get started on this Kershaw. I'm not sure what model this one is. It's a 1645. So I believe this one is actually, yeah, this one's on ball bearings, which is pretty neat. It's assisted and on ball bearings. I do not like assisted opening knives, but Kershaw does make some of the best assisted openers out there. They are effortless to close, effortless to open, and they're just really well made. I'm not a huge fan of assisted knives, but if you have to get one, then Kershaw is pretty much the way to go. So let's go ahead and see what I can do here. My fear is that these screw posts are not captive, or the spacers rather. I'm afraid they're not captive, and that will make things very difficult because, as you can see, this screw is actually hidden underneath the clip, and there's no hole in the clip. So if that starts free spinning, there's not very much I can do about it, and especially because, oh wow, tip is rather bent. And yeah, especially because I can't access the screw post. If this starts spinning at all, I'm not going to be able to get it out. So here we go, moment of truth. And it did not start spinning. It is coming apart. So that is very nice. That means I will be able to fix this knife. So let's go ahead and try to punch that out the other side there. Maybe. Yes. All right, so this should not be difficult. Crisis averted, as they say. Usually this is a major pain to deal with knives like this. So I'm gonna grab a pair of, I think I used these water pump pliers last time I had to do a clip like this because, like on a normal clip, you can get a pair of needle nose pliers over it, but like it's gonna be a bit of a stretch for these. So I'm just gonna use these water pump pliers still with this grippy stuff, and I'm gonna widen them out a little bit. That should be about good. So then I'm just gonna bend this basically until, how do I explain this? Until I can tell that the angle between the bottom plate here and the clip is sufficient for it to get a good grip here. And this one's probably going to be a bit of a pain, just because these type of clips usually are. And I think what I actually ended up doing to the last one, to the Kershaw heel attack, was I ended up putting it in my carpenter's vise, which I might end up doing again here in a second, depending on how this goes. That's actually mostly good. That's actually got decent tension already, so I might bend it just a slight little bit more, but that's pretty decent. Yeah, I'm just going to give it a little more pressure. Not too much because I don't want to break this, but there's nothing worse than breaking a clip, which honestly, I've never had a knife clip break on me, I don't think. I've had the clip on my Olight Baton 3 Pro. I've had the clip on it break at least once. I'm pretty sure just once, though. But yeah, I've had it snap cleanly in half. But yeah, I've never had a knife clip break on me. The worst, like one of the very worst knives for breaking clips is the Hogue X5. They break clips left and right. They're like really bad about it. So, yeah, but most other knives, as long as you don't do anything really stupid with the clip, you're not going to just break it. Because these are spring steel. They're tough. Oh, please don't freeze spin. Yes, thank you. Oh, this is very nice. That's very tight. That might be too tight, but this is his work knife. So, no, that's appropriate. That's perfect. So there we go. That is 2 clips fixed. This is going faster than I thought it would, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Which basically means I have less time, or I have more time to try to fill. Let's go and set everything off to the side here. So this is a Benchmade Otto Osborne, and he just wanted me to sharpen it. I can tell there's a little bit up and down, so I'm just going to tighten the pivot a little bit. I'm not going to take this thing apart or anything, but I'm going to tighten down that pivot just because that's not okay for that to be that loose. There we go. Don't want it to be crazy. Oh yeah, it's way too tight. Probably going to be finicky. Yeah, actually this one's probably just going to have a little bit of play in it, because could probably use a real good cleaning, honestly. But that is not why I got it, or that is not why it was sent to me, so I'm not going to do anything that I wasn't told to do on it. Just because it's not my knife, and this is a very expensive knife, so I don't want to even take the slightest risk of hurting anything on it. But what I will do is make sure all the hardware is good and tight, because that is one thing I know I can do without screwing anything up. Clip felt a little bit loose to me, but it's alright. It actually is. Oh, it's just the slightest bit. I can click it down there, but I mean, it's not a problem for retention. At least I don't think. I'm going to test that here in a second. Honestly, this darn stop pin might be the reason that it has a little bit of blade play, because it's like a hexagonal stop pin, and it might not be adjusted correctly. So I might see if I can do something about that. Yeah, clip is alright, and that doesn't really need fixed. Let's see here. Let's see if I can maybe adjust this. Ooh, look at that. That spins. How interesting. So it looks like that is how you're supposed to go about that. Let's see here. Let's see if I can put a little more tension on that blade. Hey, look at that. A little bit better. Still not perfect, but So that actually doesn't tighten, that just spins that. This is the strangest knife design I've seen. I never paid attention to this on the Osborne. So you can just literally turn the stop pin for more tension. This is so cool. Yeah, so there went the blade play. That's mostly gone now. So, I mean, yeah, it'll come back a little bit, but that's pretty nifty. I've never seen anything like that. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way or if that's just totally incidental, but that works quite well. So there we go. Blade play is pretty much gone on this thing. So, all right. And like I said, the reason that he gave it to me was for me to sharpen it. So now I get to find out if I can sharpen S30V. I have tried it before. I know I'm not the best at sharpening S30V, but this is a new factory edge, so it shouldn't be terribly difficult for me to get to an appreciable edge. And I appreciate him not giving it to me when it was totally dull. He didn't wait till it was extremely blunt to give it to me. It still has a good edge. It still has almost a working edge. It's not hair shaving stripe. It won't remove hair, but I can tell that the edge does not have any real damage. It's just dull. So that's pretty cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to start with a DMT coarse grit stone, and I'm just going to start forming a burr. Alright, I'm just going to make sure that my scratch pattern is acceptable. And yeah, it's looking okay so far. I can already feel a burr forming, which is pretty nice. Oh yeah, I could see a burr, very large burr. This is good. This shouldn't be very difficult at all. I'm just going to keep going though until I see a good uniform scratch pattern. I can feel a burr almost all the way to the heel. Not quite. I want to get it there though. Alright, oh yeah, we're definitely starting to get a burr on the heel here, so I'm just going to keep working that scratch pattern until I get it where I want it, and then switch over to the other side. In case any of you are wondering, this is a DMT diafold that became compromised at some point. So, yeah, it wasn't through any fault of its own. I put it through some extreme torture testing, we'll say that. Let's see here. Have to take it off screen to look at the scratch pattern here. Get on my flashlight here and see a little bit better. Yeah, looking pretty good so far. Today for a flashlight, I don't know if I have shown this on the channel, but today I'm carrying an Olight Baton Turbo, and this is an excellent flashlight. Between this and the Baton 3 Pro, well, yeah, this and the Baton 3 Pro are the two flashlights that I've carried the most. The Baton 3 Pro used to be my nice light, now it's become sort of my work light, and this is my nice light. So, yeah, definitely. Olight just makes excellent flashlights in general. I have quite a few Olights, and they're all excellent. So, yeah, and this one in particular is great. You can, this one will go, I can't remember the exact number, but it has a very long range. So, Yeah, that's the cool thing about this. A lot of candela, a lot of range. Alright, so I can see a burr across pretty much all the edge, so I'm almost ready to switch over to the other side. Thank you to the people that are watching. I'm sure that the owner of these knives is probably watching in panic as I pretend to know what I'm doing to his knives, but I do somewhat know what I'm doing, so don't be too worried. Yes, that's a very nice scratch pattern. I believe I'm ready to switch over to the other side. All right. Yes, this looks very good so far. Just a moment, I've had a notification on my phone. Ah, sweet. I got a text from said friend saying that I can clean these if I want to. So I may do that. I think I've already disassembled. I think I disassembled the mini Praxis before I gave it to him. I don't remember. I know I recorded a couple videos that I never got around to uploading. I need to upload those, but yeah, I think I disassembled it. I'm not sure though. I still probably won't take apart the Benchmade just because it doesn't really need it. I'll probably just clean it out with a little bit of compressed air, and I probably will oil it a little bit, but it doesn't really need a full takedown. So I'm going to make sure that I am, okay, so I'm actually grinding a little bit tall right now, so I need to increase my angle a little bit. Alright, yep. I've already wiped the burr off of that side and moved it over to this side. So I'm just going to keep refining the scratch pattern on this side for just a few passes. And then I'll start working that burr back and forth. And then we'll start moving up to the higher grits. I only will do 3 different grits of stone just because that's all it needs. While nicer sharpening stones will definitely help you get the edge that you want faster, it can be achieved with just old, inexpensive sharpening stones like this. I mean, this stuff is not. The stuff they use is absolutely not bad quality. This is DMT, made in USA. It's good stuff. It's just I've already had it for quite a while, and I'm sure I've worn away some of the grit. But these are still excellent stones, and I've gotten one knife, a double hair whittling sharp, which is the highest level of sharpness that Outdoors 55 talks about. I have gotten a knife sharp. I have gotten a knife that sharp, just using this basic little setup here. So I'm just gonna go and look at this scratch pattern here and make sure. Yep, that's perfect. All right, so my burr has been worked over to this side, so I'm just gonna make a few more passes on this side, just to knock that burr back over, and then I'll start refining it. Have I knocked it back over? Yes, I have. Sweet. So now time to just start refining the burr. So now that I've abraded both sides enough to form a nice burr, now I'm just going to start working that burr back and forth. I'm not too worried about making too many passes on this knife just because this is S30V, and S30V is extremely tough and very hard. It does not abrade very much at all. So I'm not going to wear out this knife just by sharpening it. It's going to take a lot of sharpenings to start to notice any sort of wear on this knife. Just because that's the way S30V is. It is a hard steel. Okay, so that's already really good. I can feel that I'm starting to really get that burr refined, so I'm going to move over to the fine stone here. Just going to make sure I haven't gotten any more notifications on my phone here. Okay, it's good. So when I record my regular YouTube videos, I usually use my old burner phone, just because it's easier for me to take the SD card out of that one without screwing up my SIM card. But for live streams, obviously, I need a better internet connection and a better camera, so I use my primary phone, and that means that any notifications I get are coming through this phone while I'm live streaming. So, it'd be a little bit annoying, but. Alright, I'm going to make sure I'm not screwing anything up here. Yep, everything feels fine. Definitely getting sharper. Don't feel a burr on either side, which is good because right now I'm refining the burr. And basically, the fact that I can't feel a burr on either side tells me that I am grinding the edge evenly, because if, for example, I am hitting the apex on this side but not on this side, then the burr will be wiped over to this side, but I can't feel a burr on either side, which means that I'm hitting both sides evenly. So that's good. Probably just do a few more passes on this stone and then move on to the fine stone, or the extra fine, and then just the strop, and this thing should be hair popping sharp. It should be better than factory edge. And since I do still have some time to burn, I might work on some of these knives up here. I might take apart one of them. I might also take apart and clean my primary work knife, which right now is the CJRB Large Pyrite Light, and I absolutely love that knife. It is an excellent knife. Alright, let's see how we're doing with that edge. Oh yeah, that feels extremely good. Definitely working that burr down really fine. I'm going to make a few more passes on the fine and then move on up to the extra fine. Yep, that feels really good. Let's go ahead and move on up to the extra fine. Make sure that my scratch pattern is good. Yep, everything looks good. Don't feel a burr on either side, so go ahead and refine that burr even more, and then I will knock it off on the strop. Yep, feeling really good so far. Alright, let's see what we've got here. I think this is probably good. I can probably go ahead and take it to the strop. Just going to look closely and see if I have any burr on either side. And no, looks like we're good. So we're going to go ahead and take that to the strop. Yep, I'm not kicking up any leather, so I can tell that I don't have a big burr on either side, which is good. Alright, let's see how we did here. Definitely feels sticky sharp. And it is every bit of hair popping sharp. That is beautiful. Alright, let's grab a piece of paper here, this time without a name on it. Okay. I just didn't get the angle right there. Alright. Yeah, that is a properly sharp knife. I should have done the paper test before, but I can tell you with confidence that it would not have done that before. I'm going to strop it a little bit more just because I can tell I can get a little bit more out of it, but it is mostly good. So in conclusion, I think there may be just something a little weird with the S30V on my Benchmade bug out, because this sharpened beautifully. I had no issues whatsoever sharpening this. It took a beautiful edge. It was easy. The burr behaved itself. It was very, very civil. So yeah, I'm not sure. There's a possibility that even though I'm certain that my bug out is not a clone, there's still that little possibility that it is a clone and that it's just cheap garbage steel that won't take an edge. But I don't think that's the case because it is very hard, and I've sharpened my bug out a lot and I've lost very little metal from that edge. So I just think it's quite hard and just very difficult to sharpen, whereas this S3V was definitely heat treated better. It's behaved itself. So that definitely feels sharper. That's even better than it was. So yeah, that is good. Yeah, I'm gonna call that good. Beautiful hair popping edge. So thankful. All right, I'm gonna blast this thing out with a little bit of compressed air here if I can find my can of it. I keep around. It's probably destroying everyone who is wearing headphones, so I apologize, but I'm just going to do it a little bit. I'm actually going to do this off screen. Alright, there we go. So that should be good. That should have removed most of the dust and stuff for the inside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of oil. Once I can find my oil, give me just a moment here. I'm just looking for my regular deoxit oil that I use. Hopefully it will show up here in a minute. Oh, there it is. Hiding behind my compressed air can. Alright. So I'm just going to put a little bit, let's see, let's find a good spot here to put this stuff in. Yeah, right in there will probably be the best place. Get it as close to the pivot as possible. I'm just going to put just a little drop in each side just because too much oil will attract dirt and debris, and we don't want that. And then I'm going to put just a little bit on the inside of the button here. And that should do it. Just going to close this back up. Work that in a little bit. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. Buttery smooth. So there we go. That is a pretty much brand new Benchmade 940. Still a little bit of blade play there, but I mean that can be adjusted out with this little stop pin thing here. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a turn here until I feel that there's no play, which is right there. Oh, that is too far because now it won't lock up correctly, so you just have to try to balance that. There we go. That's about where it needs to be. As long as it deploys reliably. Yep. Looks good to me. Just work it a couple more times because I know you all never get tired of hearing knives deploy. Oh, misfire that time. So I probably need to back that off just a little bit. I'd say a little bit of blade play is better than a misfire, so. That is why I do kind of prefer manual knives over automatic knives, is because manual knives never misfire. Or rarely. I mean, you know, you soft deploy this Civivi, it's going to misfire. But I mean, yeah, most of the time you give it a good, you can control the amount of tension that you put on this blade as you're opening it. An automatic is an automatic, and it's going to open or it's not. So, yeah, but yeah, this is good. Shouldn't have any more false deployments, but yeah. I mean, the main thing is, I mean, it's nothing that I did to it just because, I mean, I didn't do anything to it other than clean it, other than actually just spray compressed air and oil it. So, yeah, I think it's just this little thing being a pain. Yeah, so that feels good now. Yep, that feels really good. So I'm going to go ahead and set that off to the side, razor sharp. Because my friend told me I could, I'm going to actually, I think I might take this thing completely apart and clean it, because it definitely needs it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and try that out. Let's tear into this thing. Sweet, all the screws are the same length so far. I appreciate that a lot. And it seems like everything is captive, which is so nice. This is a speed safe assisted opening, which means it's going to be a bit of a pain, but I mean, I have done these a dozen times, so I'm not super concerned about it. Yeah, I can tell those are captive, which is nice. I mean, it's still being a bit of a pain just because there's spring pressure on everything, but yeah, not bad at all. Come on out of there. There you go. Alright, that looks like a T8. It does not look like a T10, but we'll try a T10 anyway. Yep, it's T8. I'm gonna open it before I'm gonna release that spring pressure before I take this off, because that is never fun. Opening up a knife that is under pressure. Alright, so here's 1 scale, 2 scale. Well, that's a liner, not a scale, but just gonna pull out this spacer. So let's see here. Are these spacers actually captive, or are they just... They're not captive. They're just well behaved. So that's kind of nice. And it is not on ball bearings. I thought it was on ball bearings, but it's actually on bronze on one side and on Teflon on the other. Okay. Cool. I guess we'll go with it. Well, this is a weird design. Oh, never mind. That's normal design. So the bronze washer was on the screw post side, so that should be fairly easy to remember. Wow, this is rather dirty. Go ahead and pop this off here so I can get to that spring. Come on. Oh, seems like maybe there's a little bit of glue or something that has worked its way in there that is holding the whole thing together. I'm going to use this little piece, or this little flathead here, and just try to pop this up a little bit. Am I missing something? Oh, I see. There's like a little bit of overmold there. What is this? That's a screw. This is odd. I've never seen anything like this. Okay. Look at, oh my goodness. Wow. Blue grease. Tell you what I'm going to do. That area in there has stayed quite clean. Well, this area right here, this area obviously hasn't. So I'm going to try to avoid removing as much of this blue grease as I can, just because, I mean, that's obviously what they want in there. I don't think oil would do as well, so I'm just going to clean around that if I can. I get my alcohol wipes up here, and this is probably going to be the last knife that I do on this stream because I'm already at 43 minutes. I only wanted to go till 2 o'clock or so, so get this knife cleaned up, and then I'll probably duck out for a while. Let's see here. Oh goodness, this is rather nasty, but that's the way these speed safes are. They just don't stay clean for very long. Alright, I'm going to lightly blow some of this lint away without blowing all the hardware away. Look at that. That worked pretty well. Alright. And I'm going to actually blast this out a little bit. Okay. Now I can clean it. This is a very interesting construction, having that little screw there that's holding that liner on. I mean, totally unnecessary. I don't know why they did that, but... Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll clean the outside here just a little bit. Yeah, kudos to my friend for not being extremely hard on knives. I know people who are way worse on knives, and yes, this knife is dirty, but it hasn't been abused really. It's been used, so. I'm not gonna worry too much about that. I believe that's rust, which is fine. That's not hurting anything there, as long as I get it clean. Alright, let's try to clean. I'm going to get a new wipe here. And try to clean around this blue. I'm assuming this is like lithium grease or something. I don't even know. Alrighty. Okay, let's go ahead and clean the blade off here. I'm going to blow this out with a little bit of compressed air. Alright, and then there's a little bit of burr here where they ground the face for the liner lock, so I'm just going to knock that off real fast here. Oh, this thing is a pain to open with the diamond file in it, but I will try here. There we go. There's a Roxxon, Mini Flex Companion, I think. Let's see, which side is the coarse side? That looks like the coarse side. Yeah, I'm actually going to look at this close, try to tell here. Yeah. Alright, so this should be the coarse side. I just want to carefully knock this burr off without scratching the blade too much. Just because this is a little production burr that does not need to be here and could even hurt the performance of the knife. So. Almost there. Pretty much got it, just a little bit more to go, and then it should be good. Yep, there it is. Alright, so just took that little bit of burr off, and I'll just wipe that off. Wipe out the inside of the track here. Ooh, that's quite dirty. I'm actually going to thread this through and clean it like that. Alright, and before I forget, oh, actually, it needs a little bit more wiping off. Yeah, it's probably about as good as it's going to get. It's got some rust and stuff on it, so before I forget, to prevent further oxidation, I'm going to put just a little bit of mineral oil on the blade here. Alright, and then I'm just going to wipe that off just to leave a thin film on the blade, and that helps it resist corrosion and just a shinier sort of finish. And then there's no real need to do a whole lot of oiling down here because I'm going to be oiling the pivot anyway. So, alright, so that's good. Let's see, I'm going to go and put this tool away. Alright, let's get another alcohol wipe and clean off these washers and the rest of the internals. Okay, that should be good. And what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to polish this washer just a little bit. Probably doesn't need it, but it probably will help just a little bit. Just run it back and forth on this strop with cutting compound on it. Just shine it up a little bit. Just sort of help get the action a little bit smoother. Alright, definitely polished it up real good, so happy with that. Let's see, let's just clean that off a little bit. I'm just going to wipe off each of the barrel spacers real fast. Actually, they probably don't need it because they've been inside of this plastic back spacer. I'm going to go and pop this one out though. Yeah, it doesn't really need cleaned. I will clean out this back spacer though. Sort of an interesting back spacer, just sort of a neat little design on it there. I do love these little Kershaw knives. Kershaw was the first, I believe they were one of the first companies that just started just making a ton of different models. And the models are not very different from one another. I mean, operationally, this is indistinguishable from like the Heel Attack. I mean, they're built exactly the same way. And it's really indistinguishable in just the way it works, like I said, operationally, and the steel that they use from most other of these budget Kershaw knives. But they have so much variety. They make so many different ones, and they just, I don't know. They're just, no matter, no matter where you look, or not, it's not a very good description, but there's gonna be a Kershaw knife that suits your personality. So, I mean, they make a ton of different models. That way, there's one that appeals to everybody. I think that's what I was trying to say. Let's see. I think we're mostly good. I don't think I need to do much more. All the hardware looks good. Anything? Oh yes, this scale over here. Did I? Yes, I did clean the lock bar. All right. Probably will have some spinning back spacers trying to get this thing back together, but I'm gonna hope not. So, start from this side. Put our spring back in there with its beautiful blue grease. This, you know, still looks dirty, but that is, I believe that is all just surface rust. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on there, and then get our little special buddy screw back in there. Come on. There. I guess it just helps seal up the spring compartment and just keeps it from coming open. Let's see. Let's get our stop pin in there, and let's go and get the pivot in there. I don't think I cleaned the pivot. No, I didn't. I should probably do that real fast. Hey, at least the pivot is captive. I don't think all of our spacers are captive, but at least the pivot is captive, which is nice. Alright, I'm going to lay this down flat on the table. It's going to be the easiest way to get to this one. Alright, I should go ahead and begin the sandwich process. So a little bit of oil right here on either side for this nylon washer. And then put a little bit of oil on the washer itself here. And then I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the hole where the spring meets, and then a little bit on this stop pin as well, because that's going to be obviously a very high friction area, because it's an internal stop pin. Not a design that I'm a huge fan of, just because it makes the blade more complicated and prone to failure. So, but I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's just I don't prefer it. Get this lined up onto our spring here. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Let's put, yeah, this is probably a good idea. I'll go ahead and put these spacers in, and this may prove to be a pain, and I probably should have done this first before I did anything else, but I'm actually going to tighten in these spacers, and then put the backspacer on, the plastic backspacer. Sort of like how I would do, I don't know, like a Cold Steel SR1 or something. Yeah, this is probably going to be a bit of a pain, but I'll try it at least without cutting myself. Now it looks like this might work. Yeah, that'll work. Lost my spacer there. There you are. And I will have to take this screw back out to put the clip in, but not a huge deal. Getting a little bit spinny there, but that's okay, because that other screw should tighten down that spacer from the other side, and I really hope it will, because I will need that to put the clip on. So, let's see. Let's go ahead. Oh, is there something that is supposed to go there? I hope not. There shouldn't be. It wouldn't make any sense for something to go there, but there is that hole on the other side. Let's see, am I missing something? No, I mean, it does not, well, actually something can't go through there. So it looks like maybe in their original design they had a pin going through here just to keep it rigid, but they never brought it to fruition because it's obviously not there. So, put our bronze washer back on there. And liners are the, lock side back on. Click. There we go. Beautiful knife sandwich. Everything clicked together nicely. This is not a bad knife at all. It has really behaved itself during this disassembly. Usually these cheaper Kershaws are a bit of a pain, but this one is doing quite well. Let's just freehand this T8. That's not my T8. This is my T8. I need to probably wipe a little bit more of the dirt from this scale because I can see dirt still in it. Let's try to get that in there. It's probably not all going to come out just because it's deep texture, but I'll at least try. Get off. I'll probably just get another wipe here in a minute. I'm not worried about it right now. I just want to get the thing back together first. Get these screws in. I think I somehow managed to make my new YouTube logo the exact same color as the live editing buttons. Because I keep getting confused. I keep thinking that it's something to do with my channel, but that's just the color that the live editing buttons are. Oh no, are you gonna spin on me? Please don't spin on me. Well, we'll see how that works with the clip here in a second. Let's get this screw out. If it does spin, it's not the biggest deal. I can always, as long as the, oop, what is going on here? Oh, I see. I'm just bottoming out on that. That's not a big deal. Come on out. Nope, don't click on me. What are you doing? So this thing actually does have a reversible clip. It's actually, there's slots for it on both sides. Now, what are you doing? Why are you clicking? So what I think I need to do is take a pin and pop this out from this side. Interesting. Yeah, the screw is just not wanting to come out for me. There we go. Yeah, that helped it. Putting pressure on that side scale. So let's see here. Let's try to get this tightened all the way down. And then get that clip in there. Whoa. Well, this is interesting. Oh yeah, I put the wrong screw in there. That'll do it. What have I done though? This is why I don't like this design of screw, or this design of clip, just because it does weird stuff like this that can be totally avoided by using a normal orthodox type of screw, or a type of clip. Let's see, these screws should be identical, right? Yeah, they are. So I don't know what that one was doing. I don't know if it has somehow hurt the liner. Oh, that looks like that may be what's happened. I'm not sure what this thing is doing. That's kind of weird. Tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead and put this in. It almost looks like to me that it is actually eaten through the, eaten through the scale, but I just don't know how that's possible. I mean, it's a fairly simple fix if it has, but tell you what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take this scale back off and make sure that that isn't what has happened, because I don't want to put this thing back together and just have it fall apart. So I'm going to make sure of what has happened here. If this screw will behave for me. Oh yeah, definitely. That's definitely what has happened. Well, that's odd, because I don't even know how that happens. It may have been that way already. But yeah, as you can see, it has, it's totally blown out, the bottom portion here. So like, yeah, the screw will just sit on there now. So let's see here. This is fixable. I'm just trying to think of how to fix it. Yeah, it's definitely a poor design, because it looks like it was way thinner than these are. Yeah, it had to have been, because the clip cutout is there. So yeah, definitely not a great design. I want to see if it's done that on the other side. It hasn't, but it looks like it's set to. So yeah, let's see. My obvious first thought is 3D printing, because I have a 3D printer, and it would probably not be difficult. You know what? Yeah, my friend is right-handed. He always carries knives right-handed. So I'm actually going to improve this. I'm going to, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print a filler for this because you can see that um, it's designed to where you can carry it both right and left-handed. So there's gaps for the clip on both sides here. But my friend is right-handed and he only carries his knives right-handed, so there's no need for this gap here. And that gap is what has caused this to blow out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print a little plastic piece that will exactly fill this, and then it will also have the correct size hole to accept this screw and allow this scale to tighten down. So what I'll probably do is I will either heat fuse that to this or epoxy it or something to make it permanently fill up that gap and eliminate this problem from ever happening again. But unfortunately, that is going to require some work on FreeCAD, and that is more than I want to do on a live stream. So I'm going to go and wrap it up here with this knife in several sad little pieces, but I will post a video explaining how I fixed this problem once I fixed it. So, thank you all for watching. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up since I only wanted to go till about 2 or so. And once again, thank you all for being here. I appreciate the support. And I will see you all on the next live or in the next video.